Bradley J and Shayla's show last week. Of course, we weren't around, and that's because Shayla, you have big news for you and Gustavo, or is it just family news?
No, not for Gustavo and I, but my sister had a baby last Wednesday. She really, I mean, I don't know why she didn't schedule this around our StreamYard, but it happened last Wednesday, so we did not do our StreamYard.
No, so yeah, you texted me and you were like, I kind of want to be there, and it's weird that you put kind of want to be there. I thought like you would want to be there, but you're like, I kind of want to be there. Like I'm 90% want to be there and 10% want to do the show. And I was like, no, you should be there for your sister and do the whole baby thing. I saw the pictures, so congratulations to Mariah, right?
Mariah, yes.
So congratulations to her and her husband, baby number 2.
Baby number 2. They got 2 girls now. So,
all right. Well, you know what? You'll surpass them when you and Gustavo have your first triplets. So,
okay.
So congratulations.
I'm telling you.
It won't be my fault. It's because you know how making a baby works, right? And it has to do with your DNA stuff.
I've been told, yes.
All right, just checking. All right, so coming up on the show, I have a hypothetical for you, and it's about winning a lot of money. It's a story, but also I want to relate it back to you and Gustavo and see what you would do with this hypothetical. And plus, also, I got a little test for you and the people watching. It's called the 2 Bears and a Puppy Test. And so, yeah, it's about friendships and if you should keep them or get rid of them. And it has to do with 2 bears and a puppy. That's coming up. But I want to start off. There's a big debate going on right now. And I talked about this on my show on 94.5 Country. And the question is, do you put your socks and underwear in the same drawer?
No, they each have their own drawer. I'm fancy like that.
How many socks and underwear do you have is the question, if they both have their own drawer. And how big is the drawer?
I mean, it's a small drawer. It's not large. I wouldn't say I have a lot of socks and undies, but Gustavo would say I do because he's probably got a solid like 5 pairs of each.
And we saw a pair of those. Yeah, we saw a pair of those on a show.
You saw 1 pair. Yes, yeah. You
did. It's funny your door is open in the back, so I'm just waiting for Gustavo to make an appearance is what I'm doing. So
there will be no appearance tonight.
There was, just so you know, in mine, I have my underwear and my T-shirts in the same drawer. But I double up my T-shirts so I can fit them in there. And I probably have way too many underwear, but that's too much information. Hi, Lauren. Lauren is actually watching us live today. So hi, Lauren.
Hi,
good
Lauren.
To see. So, good to not see you, but get your comment.
Yeah, just to clarify here. So your socks get their own drawer. What's so special about the socks?
I have a lot of socks. I have like tube socks, not tubes, but I do have, like, I guess you call them tube socks, but like long socks, we'll call them. I have short socks. I have white short socks, white black socks, and then I have like dress socks for different, because you got to have different shoes colors. You got to have different colors so it matches your shoes.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes.
Okay, so here's something else that I want to ask you, because just looking at you and knowing you, and I think people will agree with me that you're pretty good at a lot of stuff.
I wish I was, but okay, go on.
I think people think you are. And so I thought I wanted to ask you if you're good at things. The only 3 things. Are you good, or no, you think you're good at, but you aren't, staying out of drama? Are you good at that or not?
I think I'm good at staying out of drama, but sometimes I get pulled into it and I'm just interested. I want to hear about it.
But you're good at staying out of, right, you're good at staying out of your own drama. What about driving? A lot of people say they're good drivers, but they're not.
Okay, I think I'm a good driver. Turns out I'm not a good driver. Gustavo will say that I am not a good driver, and my sister Kylie will say that I'm not a good driver. But I feel like I'm pretty good. But update on my life, I need glasses. So I had an eye appointment yesterday, and I did all the tests, and I need glasses. So maybe that's why I'm a bad driver. I just can't see.
Yeah, I'd like Lauren, if you're still watching, to weigh in on this. I'm sure you've taken trips with Shayla. So, Lauren, is Shayla a good driver? All right, last one. Most people think they're good at this, but they're not. Being a good listener. Are you a good listener, you think?
I think I'm a good listener. People have
Okay.
told me that I'm a good listener, so I think
So
I
you must
actually am.
so you must be a good listener. All right, let's get into this. If you're looking to reassess all your relationships, like your husband, your family, your friends, you're like, you know what? I need to reassess all these people. There's a test.
Like,
All right.
get rid of them? What are you
Uh,
saying?
well, yeah, kind of. It's because you spend a lot of time, you spend a lot of investment on these people, and it's time to reassess and figure out who you can get rid of and who you want to keep around. So I
Okay.
thought, okay, so they have a test, and it's a simple 2-question test, so it doesn't take long. It's called the 2 beers and a puppy test. Okay. And
Okay.
basically, it's everything you need to know about how you feel about a friend, a coworker, a family member, or really just anyone. So it goes like this. Okay. If you can answer a clear yes to both these questions, it means you really value your friendship or your relationship and you like them and you can trust them. Okay. But
Okay.
if the answer is no to one or both questions that I'm about to ask, you have to make a choice. Should you invest time into fixing the relationship, or is it a sign that you've grown too far apart and it's time to move on? Shayla, are you ready for the 2 beers and a puppy test about friendship and relationships?
What do beers and puppies have to do with it, though?
Let me ask you the first question, which is,
Okay.
would
Okay.
you want to have 2 beers with the person that you're thinking about? Would you want to have 2 beers with them?
Yeah.
Most of your friendships, you would say yes, right?
Yeah.
Because 1 beer, you can get in, you can drink it, you can be gone. 2 beers,
Oh,
you know,
I
you're
see
taking a
what
little
you
time. Yeah, you got to order another one. You got to have conversation. Okay, so
mean.
so you can't think of anyone that you have a relationship with that you wouldn't want to have 2 beers with. No one.
I would love to have 2 beers with all of my friends. So
And family and everybody.
and family, yeah, I think so.
Uh,
I can't
Okay.
think of anyone
Here,
that I'm like one and done. No.
all right, here's the second question. Okay, because you have to answer a clear yes to both of these. All right. Because that means you really value your relationship with these people. Okay. So you passed, you said yes, you're not balking, you're not saying, oh, you didn't do any of that. So let's get to the second question. Would
Okay.
you trust this person to look after your puppy for the weekend? You're gone the whole weekend. Okay. You can't, there's no contact or anything like that. You just have to trust them that when you get back, your puppy will not be missing any of its pieces or dead.
So the friends that I have in my head, yes, I would trust them to watch my puppy for a weekend. Now, if it was you, I don't know. Can you take care of a puppy for a whole weekend?
I took care of 2 puppies for a
You
whole
can?
weekend.
They
Yeah,
survive?
Lindsay Gutierrez and Joe went away and their family, and I went over and took care of Romeo and Loki. And they
Loki.
had all their body parts on. I didn't get a phone call when they got back, so it was all good.
Okay,
Wait,
then
so
I
you
guess
can't.
I would trust you with my puppy. Okay.
So I was one of the people. So you have to reassess our friendship because you were just saying like you weren't sure because you had to ask me the question and then you had to be reassured because I already did it. So you're reassessing our friendship. You
I
don't
just
think
I just don't know if you're a dog person. Like some people are not dog people, and that's okay.
yeah, but
But
what
if you
I'm
kept 2 dogs alive, then I'm sure you're well qualified.
I'm reliable.
You seem reliable. Yes.
Exactly. I can't. You just reassessed our friendship right here. I would say most. I have a lot of friends, and so like 2 beers. I like drinking beer, so yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say yeah. I mean, like just on that, I'm like, are they
You could
buying?
not
Yeah,
be a great person, and I will still have 2 beers with you.
exactly. I'm like, you're buying one, I'm buying the other. Okay, I'm good. Would I trust? I don't know. I don't know how many people I would trust to watch like a dog or a cat. Like, because I'm a cat person, so but I mean, I like dogs, but I would get a cat first if I was going to do that. And
Mm.
yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm sure there's because I don't like, and I don't really like people like when I'm not in my apartment or my place. I don't like people
Oh,
in my place. So
yeah.
I might be the person that like spends the money to put the cat or dog like in a
Board them or
yes.
okay, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, interesting. I'm still hurt by you had to reassess our friendship. That hurts. Can't believe you
Well, now
did
that
that.
I know that you come with references, then I would totally let you watch my That's true.
All friends should come with references before
Yeah.
you meet them. You're like, oh hi, I'm Bradley J. And you oh hi Shayla. Let's exchange friends references,
Can I
okay?
see your references? Yes.
Before we do that, that's too funny. If you got a comment about the two bears and a puppy test, feel free. You can leave a comment in our on this live feed, or you can send us an email. Which dun, 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 I always like to show this email the show. There it is, right there. Okay, here's my hypothetical. Moving on to the next question. Since you've already hurt my feelings, let's try to hurt your feelings.
Move
Um,
on.
I'm going to read this. It's about a married couple, okay? I saw this story and I thought this is a great hypothetical question to ask Shayla because she's married, okay? So it's a hypothetical, okay? This didn't really happen to this couple, but somehow they got into this discussion about what they would do if they won $100 million. They won $100 million, okay?
Mm.
So the husband told the wife that he would give his ex-wife $1 million since they have a son together. Which I'm reading the story and I'm like, you know what? They won $100 million, $1 million to his ex-wife and son, who he did love, and he probably still loves his son, right? So he
Yeah.
wants the best for his son, but he has to give the money to the ex-wife as well because it sounds like she has custody. Okay,
And
so
son is
uh,
probably young. Okay.
yeah, and the wife was mad and said, "You're not doing that. There's no way that the wife would give $1 million to the ex-wife." Okay. Now, here was her explanation. She explained her side and kept saying, you guys are fighting over something that will never happen. She told the side, like, here's why they didn't give the reason why she said it, but she explained. And then the husband said, oh no, it was a friend of theirs that they were telling the story to. Sorry, it was a friend. And the friend said, you guys are fighting over something that will never happen. Which I mean, the probability of them winning $100 million, far fetched, yeah,
Pretty
really
small.
small.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what the friend said. Well, here's what happened to the husband and wife over this hypothetical situation. He's been sleeping on the couch for 2 days. He slept on the couch for 2 days because of this stupid fight. Okay. So I wanted to know, since you've been married and you and Gustavo have been together for a long time, so something like this could happen. Not the winning $100 million, but a very little thing, like a hypothetical question of winning $100 million, which probably isn't going to happen. So you get in a fight. It's a stupid thing to get in a fight over, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so how did a little thing turn into a big thing in your relationship? Did you ever? Because you and Gustavo, you guys never. I've never seen you like argue when you're out in public. Never seen you on the phone, like walking down the hall, like oh Gustavo, da, 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 like I've never seen. But did you have a little thing that either like you started doing it and Gustavo was like at the end like what are we? Well, this is dumb. Or did you look at Gustavo and go, why are we fighting?
You know, we don't fight that often. We really don't. We're pretty good about that. But when we do, it's over stupid stuff like that. Like hypothetical stuff that then I get upset. So, for example, Gustavo is going to be doing a residency through a college somewhere. The closest would be KU Med. If he doesn't get into KU Med, it would be in another state. And so I definitely was in tears at times when we were talking about where we would potentially move. Not that it's happening. This is just hypothetical, like Miami. And I'm like, I don't want to move to Miami. I don't know. So that's the kind of fights that we have is it's over like stuff way in the future and it's out of our control right now. That would be my example for that.
So does he bring up the hypothetical and you're always,
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
him?
Gustavo is always like 2 steps ahead of me. He is like thinking about the future. He's trying to plan like way ahead. And this is stuff that's like a year, 2 years from now. And I'm like, I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing this weekend. And he is like 2 years ahead of me. And I'm like,
But that's
"Heck."
But that's good to have in your relationship though, because he is the one he's a planner. He's looking towards the future. Like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? And you're
Yeah.
more of like, you sound like you just want it. You're like, I'm in the moment. Like, let's just enjoy watching The Bachelor tonight. And he's like, no, we need to talk about where we're going to move and what kind of house and how the triplets are going to eat when I'm not around. Like things like that. And you're the one that's just like putting it off. Do, do
Yeah.
you,
I
do you
mean, that is a great quality to have. Like, I'm glad he thinks way, in the future, but sometimes it just stresses me out and I start crying.
Do you ever start thinking about like long term like him? Are you like, oh, maybe I should think like that, or are you more just like, I'm drinking wine right
No,
now. It's so delicious.
I totally think long term. I just think long term on my own terms, like on the weekend. I don't come home from a long day at work and at 5 o'clock want to discuss our plans for 2 years from now. Like, he is like, he's always thinking about it. He's always like way ahead of me.
Do you think this will become like? Do you think like the fights will get like, I don't know, not more intense, but like be more, I get, yeah, more intense like later on in life, like if like in 2 years, like if he's like, well, now we're here and we didn't even plan for this, like now we got to do this, like what's the deal? Like if you would have planned it with me, we would have been where we're supposed to be. Or do you think it'll be just like, you'll be like, we'll figure it out?
Nah, they'll probably get worse as we get closer to actually having to make a decision on colleges.
Are you bad about making decisions?
Oh my gosh, I'm horrible. That's like on my resume, you can put that under my weaknesses. Like, I'm not great at making decisions. Like,
See,
if someone can make my life decisions for me, I would invest in that.
See, you talked about that in one of our other stream yards, but like I always thought it was like little things that you like superficial things like, hey Shayla, we're gonna go out to eat. Where do you want to eat? And I thought it was like stupid things like that, or like, hey, what kind of dog food? Or you know what I mean? Just like little things. I thought you were probably better with bigger decisions. Like you'd be like
No,
more
it's
you're
all
like,
of the above. It's
all
all of the above.
every
Yeah.
decision, like you kind of
Yeah.
I didn't think that about you. Well, I learned something
I
new.
feel like I got better though working at the radio station in promotions. Like, I had to make decisions on stuff. And so that kind of forced me to get out of my comfort zone and do that a little more. So I feel like I got better, but in my own personal life, I'm still not great at making decisions.
You're just a hot mess when it comes to decision making.
Yeah, Gustavo makes all my decisions. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what marriage is for. I think you just like put your life decisions on the other person and they tell you what to do. So then
Dude,
if it was a bad decision, then it's on them. Be like, you
there's a
told me that this was the right path.
there's a lot to unpack in that you said that we can't get to because like later on in life, like you're gonna be like in the hospital and they're like, oh Shayla, we need to do this. Can't decide, call my husband. Like, where's he at right now? I don't know. I don't know if I want you to stitch it up. I mean, I get your blood's coming out, but I don't know. Stitches, Band-Aid, get Gustavo. Where is he at? I need him in here stat.
I was so stressed out yesterday picking out frames like for glasses. I've never done this before. And Gustavo wasn't there. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what looks good on my face shape. I ended up just making a decision just because the lady told me it looked good on me. And I was like, all right, you won.
If you find was getting glasses from the same lady for like almost 20 years in Salina. She started me when I was young and then she retired, but she put on the glasses for me. I took her advice. Like she would go like, what do you like? You know, what style? And I'm like, I don't know. After a while I would just go in and her name was Marcia and I'm like, hey, what do you got for me? And she would bring out like 4 or 5 pair and she's like this and she's like this looks good on your face and you know because you have this kind of face and everything like that. So here they are. So for the longest time I didn't even sweat going in to have glasses or have to make that decision because she would bring them. I had to make the decision. I'm like, oh, I like these. And then, you know, we'd put them on and she would look and she's like, you know, and I even took her advice with my mom sitting there too. My mom's like, I like those. And I'm like, doesn't matter. what do you think, Marcia? And she would tell me, and I'd be like, okay, let's do that. So yeah,
There
so
you
we get
go.
you. Getting your first pair of glasses is tough. Like
Yeah.
it is.
Like I've never tried on glasses before. I have no idea. So I just told the lady, you tell me. She was like, do you want colorful or not colorful? I said, not. I said, I just want just plain glasses. Just tell me like what are people wearing? I don't know.
See,
And
these I got at Wink. They're I think they're a little they were expensive, but I got them over at Wink in Lawrence. So if you're looking for a very unique style of glasses, Wink is where you want to go over in Lawrence. They're on Mass Street downtown, so you should check it out.
there's your endorsement right there.
Yeah. Hey,
Are
Wink.
they listening?
Hey,
Marsha.
hey, Wink. Marcia, no, she lived in Salina and she's retired now. Email the
Oh,
show. Wink, if you're listening, email the show. And if you know somebody living or working over at Wink, tell them that we're looking for endorsements and we would love to talk about, because we both are going to be wearing glasses on the show. And so if there's a glasses person or company out there that wants us to endorse their product, email us and we'll talk. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up, Shayla. I have, since I'm single, and people always ask me, they're like, do you do things by yourself? And I'm like, all the time. I go to concerts, grocery shop, movies, doesn't matter. Ball game, I'll go to anything by myself. So I wanted to know, Shayla, how comfortable are you going places alone? Like, can you go grocery shopping alone? I know you're married now and you need Gustavo around you all the time, but can you do that?
yeah, I can easily go grocery shopping by myself. Sometimes it's easiest because then we spend less money. Otherwise, Gustavo goes to the meat section and then we're out like an extra $100 later. It's like,
He does like to grill, that's for sure. How about sit down place for lunch? Can you do that alone?
I mean, maybe if it's like a quick hour over my lunch break, like I'll go somewhere, but not like a nice sit down place.
Okay, so you can do it for lunch. You can sit down. You can go by yourself for lunch. What about sit down place for dinner?
Probably not. No.
Done it. Love it. I'm
Yeah.
in, out, boom. Oh yeah, and I don't have to share dessert either. Also, can you go to this place alone? A funeral.
Yeah. I mean, I have many times. So yeah, I don't prefer it. I prefer to have a companion go with me, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
Yeah, I take a companion with me, but it's not a good place for a first date. Just not.
Ooh.
Okay, can you do this alone? Go to a concert.
No,
You
no,
can't.
no, I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure I'd make friends next to me, but no, I would want a buddy. I would want a
Okay.
buddy.
And the last thing is final question about going and doing something alone. Would you go to a park like Worlds of Fun alone?
No, I would also want a buddy. I'd probably have a great time though by myself. Like I could just go on whatever rides I wanted to
Right.
and do them as many times as I wanted.
Well, I did a live broadcast at Worlds of Fun years ago from here at the radio station, and I was there by myself, and I actually had the van parked, took everything back, and went in and went around Worlds of Fun for a while. So I did it myself.
Did
So
you have a good time?
I do. I don't mind being by myself when I do things because I get to
Yeah.
do things at my pace, and I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, if you want to leave early, you can leave early. If you want to stay late, you can stay late. You're not having to look over at somebody and go like, hey, I think we could go over here. I know that's going to, take us another 30 minutes, but it'd be fun. Right. And they're like, I, I need to get home. And I'm like, we live at the same place. It'll be fine. Shut up. We're
There's
doing
no one
this.
to please but yourself. Yeah, I can totally understand that.
That is true. All right. If you want to email the show, BradleyJ at 94country.com. We are back. Congratulations again to your sister on her baby. Is it a boy or a girl?
The girl.
It's a girl. They name it Bradley J?
No. Surprising.
Mariah.
Wednesday should be named after at least me or you. Yeah.
Exactly. Or a combination. Bradley, Shayla, Conway, or whatever her last name is.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. I didn't know when I said it, I was like, should I be saying this? Yeah, it's fine. Mariah, she's well known.
Maybe we'll propose it for the third one.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. But if you'd like us to discuss a topic and you're like, I wonder if Bradley J could talk about this topic, we challenge you to email us with a topic and we can talk about it. Because Shayla is very knowledgeable and I'm not, but it's all good. Shayla is very, very, very smart. So anyway,
I don't know
well, yeah,
about
and
that,
hey,
but
hey, thanks for asking about the Taylor Tomlinson show I went to on Saturday.
yeah.
No, thanks for asking. You didn't ask, but
Oh,
the show. Well, you didn't even get it. That just went right over your head.
we
Anyway,
talked about it earlier.
what we
I
going on
asked
here?
you, I said, "Did you have fun?" You said, "Yeah."
It was great. Taylor Tomlinson's a comedian. If you have Netflix, check her out. She's wicked funny. Saw her in Kansas City past Saturday. My niece and I went up there. My niece even had a great time. It was fantastic. So I am promoting Taylor Tomlinson. You should go check her out live and check her out on Netflix. She's got 2 specials and she's working on a 3rd one. So she's blown up. She's everywhere and very excited for her. And it was great to see her live in concert. All right, Shayla, thanks for joining me on the show since it has your name in it.
Of course. Happy to be here.
We'll talk to you next Wednesday. Peace.
Bye.